Hi guys, so today is a great Saturday, summery day. It's one of the few Saturdays this year that we've been able to stay home and not really have errands to run or have a whole lot to do. And because of that, it's been really relaxed, and I got in the mood for some ice cream, some homemade ice cream, which is one of our favorite summer treats. So I decided to make some blueberry cheesecake ice cream, and I was gonna bring you along for the ride. So I'm gonna start out by showing you my ice cream maker. My maker is an electric maker, which makes in about 30 minutes. It's a no ice version. And but don't fear, if you don't have an ice cream freezer and you want to make this version of ice cream, you can make it without a freezer, and I'll take you through those steps as I'm going through the freezer version. I'll give the freezer and the non-ice cream maker version. So let's look at the equipment first. Cuisinart frozen yogurt ice cream maker. This was a wedding gift that I received when Jeremy and I got married. We have used this hundreds of times. We love to make homemade ice cream. It comes with a base, which has the motor in it. And then you have a bowl, which actually sits here. Now this bowl you put in the freezer for about 24 hours prior to using it. Mine actually just stays in my outdoor freezer because we make ice cream quite a bit. You have a paddle that fits down inside, just like so. And then you have a cap. It's very easy to assemble. It's very easy to use, and it makes your ice cream in anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes, which is perfect for us. When it's done, it's more of a soft serve consistency. If you want it a harder consistency, put it in a Tupperware container, slide it in your freezer for about another 15 to 20 minutes, and you have perfect scoopable ice cream. So I'm going to get our ingredients together, and I'll be back in a minute. Alright, so the first ingredients you're going to need will be 2 cups of heavy cream, which I'm just going to pour into my saucepan, as well as 2 cups of whole milk, which is also going to go straight into my saucepan. And I'm going to stir these together, and I'm going to bring them up to a simmer. I don't want this to get too hot, but I need it to be warm enough because in a little while I'm going to use it to help melt my cream cheese. If this were the non ice cream freezer version, you would actually use the whole milk with 1 cup of whole milk, 2 cups of heavy cream, and you would blend that with 1 can of sweetened condensed milk, and you would whip that with a hand mixer or a stand mixer until it was light and fluffy, about the consistency of heavy whipped cream. And what that's going to do is give you a base, a thickening base to freeze in just a little while. So this is the start of my ice cream. I'm going to let that come up to temp, and while this is getting hot, I'm going to take my cream cheese and some sugar, and we're just going to beat those together. So I will get that together for you. Okay, so the next ingredients you're going to need is going to be a 1/2 cup of sugar, 1 8-ounce block of cream cheese, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Now the vanilla I am using is a Dominican Republic vanilla. It's a lot more floral than your traditional vanilla extract, and it's a lot less potent than Mexican vanilla extract, which many of us like to use in our baking. But this is the Dominican, which my husband and I really love for our ice creams and a few other dishes, just because it has more of a floral flavor to it, and I think it's going to mix really well with our blueberries later. So in the mixer, I've placed my block of cream cheese. You'll notice my mixer has the whip attachment on it, and we're just going to put in a 1/2 cup of white sugar to that. I'm going to put the lid down. I'm going to lock it in place, and I'm going to turn that on low and just let it combine until it's light and fluffy. It doesn't, it's not going to take very long, but we want it to be light and fluffy. while this is mixing, this is the sugar cream cheese mixture, I'm just going to add in 2 teaspoons of the Dominican vanilla. And that's just going to continue to mix until it's a light, fluffy consistency. I'm going to turn it up just a little bit so that it starts to make a nice, smooth mixture. So while that's mixing, I'm going to check on our cream, and then I'll be right back. Alright, as you can see, our cream cheese sugar mixture is nice and smooth. If I were making the no freezer version of this, or the no ice cream machine version of this, I would actually take the whipped cream cheese and I would fold that into my whipped cream mixture, and then the whole thing is going to go into a glass container, like a baking dish, and it would go into the freezer and it would get started to set up. And I would let that go in there for about 10 minutes, just until it started to get nice and creamy. I'm going to stir it about every 5 minutes while that's getting to the consistency I want. Alright, so the cream cheese mixture is ready to go, and what I'm going to do is start to add our heavy cream. So I'm going to put the beater down, I'm going to lock it in place, and I'm going to turn it on low. And while this is going, I'm going to slowly pour in my heavy cream and milk mixture that I've just heated up on the stove. I don't want it to be too hot, but I do want to get that nice cream cheese flavor throughout the mixture. So we're just going to add a little at a time, just kind of a steady stream. We're going to let this mix, and then we're actually going to take the whole bowl of mixture and we're going to put it into the refrigerator, and we're going to let it chill for about an hour. We're going to give that just another minute to get good and incorporated. And this is the base for our cheesecake ice cream. Now, some of you heard me say blueberry at the beginning. Well, the blueberries are going to come into play in a little bit. What I'll do is, while this is chilling, I'm going to cook down our blueberries with a little bit of sugar and have them ready to swirl in after our ice cream has frozen in the freezer. So stay tuned for those steps. Okay, so we've got our cheesecake ice cream mixture chilling in the fridge, getting ready to go in the freezer, and I'm about to start making our blueberry swirl component. So in this saucepan, I have a pint of blueberries. Now these were fresh. I actually threw them in the freezer just because I wasn't sure what I was going to do with them when I bought them. To that, I'm going to add 1/3 cup of sugar and just a little bit of lemon juice. So I'm going to add our lemon juice. It's about 2 teaspoons straight in on top of that. Now I'm not going to add any water or any other liquid. The blueberries, as they heat up, are going to release their own natural juices. The sugar is going to combine with that and help make a nice syrup. If you wanted to add something else to this, instead of lemon juice, you could add some triple sec if you wanted to, or if you wanted to leave the juice out altogether, you could substitute water. I just happen to like the lemon juice. I think it gives a nice tartness to the blueberries, and that's kind of what I'm looking for to swirl with the really sweet cheesecake ice cream base I have, is that I really want a nice tart blueberry swirl to this. So we're just going to let this heat up. I have a high temp rubber spatula. Now this spatula, when you buy a rubber spatula or a rubber scraper, you can actually look for one. On the label it will say high temp, and they'll go up to about 500 degrees in temp before they start to melt. That's what this one is. This one is by Oneida. I love the spatula. It's one of my favorites. One of the reasons is that it's high temp, so I can use it with pretty much anything that I'm doing, and so that really works well for me. So I'm going to cook these down until they get to be a nice syrup consistency. And I'll show you that in just a few minutes. Alright, as you can see, the blueberries are starting to release their natural juice. The sugar's starting to melt down. I would think in probably another 5 minutes, this is going to be the consistency I want. The blueberries are going to be nice and soft. The sauce is going to be nice and thick. We're going to be really having some awesome swirls of blueberry filling in this ice cream. Now, if you're making the non-ice cream freezer method, you're going to do this step the exact same. You're going to cook down your blueberries with the sugar and lemon juice and just cool it down, and then you'll just slowly swirl it into your ice cream once it's been in the freezer in your glass container for about 20 minutes. After the 20-minute time frame, you're going to be able to start adding in dollops of your syrup and swirling it through, and then just letting that finish setting up hard in the freezer. So I'm going to finish cooking this down. I'm going to put it on the back burner to cool. Alright, so our sauce has thickened up. I'm fixing to take it off the heat. But as you can see, it's a nice, thick sauce. As it cools, it's going to continue to thicken up. And then this is going to get swirled into our cheesecake ice cream once it's done. So I'm going to set this on the back burner. And in just a few minutes, I'll be putting the ice cream in the ice cream freezer. And I'll show you what it's like. The ice cream mixture has been in the fridge for about an hour. I've got my mixture all set up. The bowl has been in the freezer, so it's nice and cold and ready to go. And what I'm going to do is just simply pour this mixture into this hole. And I will show you what it looks like once it's in the machine. Alright, as you can see, I've put the ice cream mix into the ice cream freezer. I'm just going to turn it on, and it's going to go for about 20 to 25 minutes. And what's going to happen is the bowl will actually rotate, and the scraper that I put in earlier will actually scrape the sides as it freezes, and it will make ice cream. So here we go. And I'll see you in about 20 minutes. Alright, as you can see, the ice cream has got to a nice soft serve consistency. So what I'm going to do is take apart the machine. Comes apart quite easily. This just lifts out. You can see that nice soft serve consistency. And I'm going to sit this into my bowl that I'm going to be scraping some of the ice cream into, because I've decided I want to leave some of it just plain cheesecake ice cream. So I'm going to dish this up, and we'll add our blueberry filling to it, and then I will show you the ice cream before I pop it in the freezer. And there you have it. Our finished blueberry cheesecake ice cream that I'm fixing to pop in the freezer, let it solidify a little bit more, and then I will be enjoying a scoop of this later tonight. Thanks for joining me at Living with Lorna.